Opposing Gloves here, and today we're going to be talking about Roman numerals because I don't have a video specifically for it, and so I want one for Roman numeral analysis. So here's Roman numerals. Now I'm going to assume you've watched the other two, the chord symbols and the figure-based chords. Roman numerals and figure-based analysis go hand in hand, and if we wanted, we could even throw chord symbols on top. We're just being really exact, or I guess more conscious about what we're seeing. And so we're just looking at things in a new way to give us new power as a composer, and this is just valuable tools to have at our disposal. So here I've got the Roman numeral analysis for the diatonic chords in C major. Now this pattern is for all majors, and then they have this pattern of chords, and then the minor scales have their own pattern, and it's very actually valuable. I hope it's not news. It's super valuable to know this. We're going to be referencing this a crap ton as we go throughout it. I'm mostly going to just be referencing it though, pointing out like, hey, you remember how the 2 is always minor in the major when we go through chord progressions and stuff, because that's when it sort of becomes more useful, and I'll probably revisit this as a concept later after some of that material has been laid down. But anyways, Roman numerals. So here, this is the 1 chord. So Roman numerals are written in reference to the key that you're moving in. So if we were moving in A minor, our 1 chord would be an A minor chord, but we are moving in C major. So we are working with C major as our 1 chord. Now C is a major chord, so it is the Roman numeral 1, and it's a capital 1 because it's a major chord. If it was a if it was a minor chord, it would be a lowercase 1, just like we have over here. So we follow scale degrees now. So C, that's the triad built off of C, is a C major triad. C is the tonic, the 1, so it is the 1 chord. This would be considered the 1 chord. Here we have 2. This is a minor chord, so it is a lowercase because it's DFA, which is D minor, and D is the 2nd degree inside of the C major scale. So one thing you need to be watching out for when you're doing this is you need to be looking out for inversions, because just because it's inverted, like let's say that like F was in the bass, but it was still a DFA chord, so let's say it looked like this would still be a 2 chord because it's still a D minor chord, and that's still a 2 chord. So this is something that your ability to see this is really important. So anyways, Roman numeral analysis. So we have 2. So here's the 3 chord. So we have 3, and it's a minor, E minor. There's the 4 chord. It's major, so it's F major, and it's the way you write 4, and it's capital because it's major. The 5, 6, and here on the 7th, this is B diminished. So the diminished, well, they follow the same way that you do this in chord symbols, in that a diminished chord has a little circle. A half diminished chord would be a circle with a line through it. When you add in 7ths, it gets a little crazier because then your chord symbols start to look a little more crazy. And then we come back to the 1. Now I want to just right click. Let me right click here. Here's all our options that we have. And some of these are just things that are options to add in here as we go. We can add flats and sharps, for things. But anyways, in Roman numerals, you're generally going to see, because they have things in here that are things you do not see that often. So I'm just going to point out some of the big ones. And this is reference to something we haven't talked about yet, so don't worry about that. Anyways, Roman chord analysis, when dealing with the 1, 2, 5, whatever, this is by far the most common stuff you'll see. You'll see it used with figure bass. You can see that here, figure bass. And here is the diminished. Let me see. Here's the augmented. It's got the plus sign that stands for augmented. Another diminished. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty much as far as you're going to need to know for now. When we start getting into more, like when we get into other stuff, I'll just bring it up as necessary. But you just need to be aware of the convention that's going on here. And based off, when you combine figure-based knowledge with chord symbol knowledge with Roman numeral analysis knowledge, you're going to be able to figure out from these 3 videos 99% of the chord symbols out there. Occasionally, you're going to run into weird ones. And the ones that have those names, these guys will make sense in a while. Maybe not in a while. I'm not going to be covering these for a little bit, but anyways, they will make sense. Like once you get to the video about them, you'll be like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, so if you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day. So put a low note down here. This is what it sounds like. And if we play a mid note. And if we play a high note, we really get the metal feel. I'm not going to play much higher than that, because any higher than that, it can hurt you. It will hurt you.